Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickerson from Dubbo Regional Council.
Rightio, time now is 13 minutes away from 8, and at 13 away from 8, it's time to head on up to a fabulous part of God's country, which is the Dubbo area. Mayor Matthew Dickerson, good morning.
Good morning, Kerry. How are you going today?
I'm extremely good. Just before we do start on talking about what we're going to talk about, I noticed that the public exhibition on your draft plans has now closed, so that will be then considered by councillors, and some decisions will be made, I take it, at the June 27th meeting. Would that be right?
That's spot on. We've got to finalise the budget before next financial year, and we like to leave it as late as possible. So the June meeting will make the final decisions on the budget for next year. But you're right, submissions closed yesterday morning at 9 a.m. So hopefully everyone's got their submissions in. They've got the information into us. We'll read through all those, take those into account, and then make our final decisions on the budget at the June council meeting.
See, with you guys having the wonderful Western Plains Zoo, this is a good intro. The elephant in the room, you know that, at the moment is the sale yards.
Well,
and
that's
the sale or lease of the sale yards.
That's right, and that's another decision we'll be making at that same council meeting, what we're doing with that, what's the future direction. The EOI that we've advertised and had out has also closed for the sale yard, so that's all finalised now. And now it will be a decision for councillors to look through that. We've got a workshop this Thursday. Will be a lot more deliberations over the next few weeks about that, after deliberations over the last 8 or 9 months about this, about where we go. And the options, Kerry, will be we could sell it, we could lease it out long-term to an organisation, or we could continue to run it internally, but the model would have to change if we continue to run it internally. And I've said this a number of times. I think I'm actually repeating myself to the stage where I'm getting a bit bored with myself saying this, but no decision has been made by councillors. In fact, it's a breach of the Code of Conduct policy for any councillor to have made a decision before they walk into a council meeting. If you go and read the Code of Conduct, that's the model Code of Conduct across the state, you can't make decisions before you walk into a council meeting. So no decision has been made. Every decision is open to councillors to make, and I'm sure there'll be lots of discussion, and there'll be lots of people come along to the meeting at the end of June to actually put their point of view forward as well. So I'm interested to see how this all turns out.
Rightio. Now, Roads Congress, you attended that yesterday, was it, right?
Normally you and I would be on the phone on a Monday morning, but I was on a plane yesterday morning going down to Sydney for the Roads Congress. This is a congress that's held each year. I think this is the 18th Congress, and I haven't been to all 18, I must admit, but it's something to just explore roads. And after all the rain we had at the end of 2022, Kerry, everyone wanted to talk about roads. Fix the roads are terrible. I actually don't hear as much discussion about roads today as I did a year and a half ago, but it always still bubbles away under the surface, and it only needs another rain event or a major rain event for roads to be the number one topic again. But it's just good to see the technology there. And a few things that were brought up yesterday. One of them was certainly about roads funding. How do we keep funding the roads? That's always an ongoing issue. EVs was a bit interesting discussion point yesterday, because obviously EVs are a bit heavier than a normal vehicle. One of the great myths that's out there is that fuel excise tax goes towards roads. That started in 1929, but in 1957, fuel excise tax was taken away from going directly to roads and just goes back into general revenue. So we're not necessarily going to have no money going towards roads if no one buys petrol and everyone's using an EV, but there still needs to be some model there. That'll be general revenue they'll be missing out on. A per kilometre charge, is that fairer for people? So that was a good discussion around EVs and around EV charging. And one of the things I love, Kerry, was the AI that's coming in, I suppose, to roads. And there was a great demonstration of a tool that was used that would be mounted to something like a garbage truck, for example, that assesses the roads in real time as this vehicle drives around. And a garbage truck's perfect because all your urban areas of your council area are seen every single week by the garbage truck. So having some AI tools mounted on those to continually monitor the condition of your roads, we saw a demonstration of that, or a video, not an actual demonstration driving through Parliament House, but a video of that, and that looked fascinating as a way to keep on top of the condition of your roads. You've then got to go and fix those roads.
Barden Park, what happened there?
Well, that was opened back in 2014, and we knew at the time we opened Barden Park Athletic Centre that we would need to budget for the renewal of the track approximately every 10 years. It's an international standard track. When you and I go and run our races and break a world record, Kerry, it's going to be ratified because it's on an international standard track. But if you don't keep renewing that track, you lose that accreditation. So 10 years is up. Basically, November this year, we knew that we'd have to do something, and we'd budgeted for that, but we did a good job in terms of getting a grant for that. We got $1.06 million from the last state government, and so we've just finished the renewal process on that track. So that track is now back to how it was, brand spanking new 10 years ago.
Good stuff. Now, listen, finally this morning, waste to art, one of your favourite subjects.
It is actually. I love the exhibitions we have at our cultural centre. We have Archibald exhibitions, we have Art Express, but my absolute favourite is Waste to Art. And we had 53 entries in Waste to Art this year. The concept or the theme this year was called the Year of Packaging, where the idea was to take any discarded products that were utilised in packaging and turn them into something. And I just love what people do, the creativity, Kerry, the different ideas they come up with, and the different categories. So you've got very young school kids, you've got older school kids, you've got open categories. Very interesting looking at what people have been able to come up with. Fascinating to see what they're doing with it, but also just the idea that you're taking something that's waste, something that you'd normally throw in the bin, and turning it into something quite useful in terms of an art product. So get along to the Cultural Centre. That's a free exhibition that's there at the moment. All the winners have got their tags on them to show the winners of those, and they all go into regional finals. Those winners go to regional finals. There are 18 councils involved in Waste to Art, and they all go into the regional finals that will be judged later on this year.
Thank you for your time again this morning, sir. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Kerry. Good to chat.
Have a good day. There we go, Matthew. Doug over here this morning.
Mayoral Memo with Matthew Dickinson from Dubbo Regional Council.